Welcome to Ecom Cowboy. This is D2C's daily show brought to you by Seguno, Postscript, and AMP. It is Wednesday, February 11th, and we could not be more excited today. We talk about one thing and one thing only. You know what it is. It's what's now and next in e-commerce, so marketers and operators like you can survive and thrive. And we have got a jam-packed show for you today. Shopify continues to crush. Their earnings have officially been released from Q4. They are now occupying 14% of the entire US e-commerce market. They're becoming the de facto platform of choice for the builders of today. Ralph Lauren, or however you like to pronounce it, is now Lyst's number 4 hottest fashion brands in existence. What does that say about leaning into timelessness versus the current trends? And Alex Beller will be with us on the show, co-founder and president of Postscript. He is going to give us his insight on all of the craziness happening inside of software and tech, what it means and where we're going. He's going to help us look around those corners. That's important because e-commerce is inextricably connected to what we can do on the web. As always, I am joined by my partner in crime, Colin Doherty. Colin, get in here.
Let's go.
Yes.
Let's go.
Let's go. That's right. That's right. That's right. And we needed that because we needed to clap you in because you were sick yesterday.
Stomach bug can't keep me down.
It can't keep you down. You are a relentless force that cannot be quelled. You must come forth. Well, Colin, we are debuting a new segment today. As you know, but I want to give everybody just a little shaping of what this is. This is a power ranking for the internet's hottest hats specifically. Okay. And we, you know this, we've done a lot of work on our side. Particle is making this possible. We've created our own algorithm. Before we debut this, I want to play a little something. Carson, you put up the overlay. I'll play the music. Here we go. Internet Top 10.
Huge.
We must get into it. And I'd like to remind everyone, these are power rankings. What do you mean, Chris? I mean, what we have factored into is the last 30 days of data. What do you mean, Chris? I mean revenue. I mean rate sold per day. I mean sell-through rate. I mean reviews. I mean data confidence. I mean discounts offered. Are we offering pre-sales? And I do also mean just a little bit of swag factor, okay? There is some human element to this, but we will be releasing our manifesto for how we have created these power rankings in concert with AI. And we want to test drive this thing today and show the good people who love everything that we do on the internet, bring this out there. What are the top 10 hottest selling hats, and see what you can take away for your own apparel brand, etc. Number 10, you know this is going to be a good list. No, go back to honorable mention, Carson. We're starting with honorable mention here. The reason you know this is going to be an incredible list is that the Howler Brothers Osprey Prey snapback is honorable mention. Didn't even make the top 10. I mean, when you see this thing, you know, it's got like the eagle and it's picking up the trout out of the river. I mean, this is an incredible hat. This didn't even make top 10. I mean, would you wear this thing? I'd wear it all day, every day.
All day, every day. Plus the Howler Bros team is extremely good.
Extremely good. Number 10, let's move forward here to number 10, Carson. Number 10, old-time hockey Boston Bruins Icy Dawn from 47 brand. You know, when I see this, it's taken me back to the late 80s. I can see the great one out on the ice playing against the Boston Bruins in some heated match. This one takes me back. It's got nostalgia written all over it.
This is sweet. I love all of the design for this too. It's just awesome.
Number 9 here, Carson. Number 9, a little bit of an unexpected one inside of the list, but the cooling bucket hat from Mission. Maybe not your hat of choice when you're going out on a Friday night or a Saturday night, but if you need to keep that thing cool, maybe you're going out to the lake, or maybe you're working a little fly fishing in the river, you want that thing on to cover you, keep you cool. And I think this will be a recurring theme inside of the top 10 is cooling technology added into the hat itself. What's your take? What's your response when you see this, Colin?
I love this. This is great. I wear one of these when I cut the lawn too.
Do you really?
They're really helpful. I look like a goofus, but but they're fun. I can go get it. I can go get it if you want.
Okay, go get it. Yeah, go get it. Go get the thing. Go get the thing. Okay, he's gonna go get his. Here's my take on this. I would never wear this, to be honest. Now, I would never wear it normally, but for the appropriate occasion, exactly right here. And
What's up?
Is yours from Roback?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you're Roback all day, every day.
Oh yeah.
I think very valuable for the right situation. I'm not going to wear it downtown. I'm not going to wear it to go pick up the kids from school. But if I need to keep the heat off me, I'm bagging that bad boy.
What do you mean? This is a perfect downtown dinner hat. What are you talking about here? What do you have a problem with this?
Maybe trends are different in Charlotte, North Carolina. Maybe trends are different.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go to number
acceptable.
Let's go to number 8 here, Carson. Number 8, the Bad Rope hat from Bad Birdie. I know you've seen this everywhere. I think Bad Birdie is obviously crushing. This, to me, is their hero product when it comes to headwear. Is that fair?
That's super fair. It also goes after that younger demographic of like the new golfer that's kind of coming onto the scene, and they're just doing great positioning right now.
Yeah. Exactly. Newer golfer. It's not necessarily like it's in the name, really. Bad Birdie. It's kind of like the bad boy golfer who's getting in there, doesn't align himself necessarily with the country club of old that maybe his dad or his uncle was a part of, but he's got swag to him. This is what he wants to wear on the golf course. Big fan. All right, number 7, Carson. Number 7, I love that. Oil tin low profile logger cap from Filson. And I believe that this is made of waxed canvas. And brother, I've got multiple waxed canvas hats. When you put that thing on, it's a horse of a different color. It's a totally different experience than what you are expecting to put on when you wear the hat. It's got quality to it. It's just got that sprinkle of mashugana on top of it that makes it extra special. So hats are one of the few things that men will buy, and you put them on and it feels like, I've elevated my apparel here and what I'm wearing, what I'm rocking. It's a big winner. I was excited to see this one. You feel the same?
Yeah, I feel like I could put this on and then go into the middle of the woods and chop down a Christmas tree for my family, and then throw a chain around it and drag it through the snow and then set it up for my family. You know what I mean?
That's right. That's right. Even if I never go outdoors and I only live inside my office all day, every day, I feel like I'm a lumberjack.
I feel like I
put
could.
this thing on. Exactly. Yeah. I could do it.
I could.
That's what it's all about.
Yeah.
That's what it's all about. Okay, number 6, Carson. Number 6. Now, this one is unexpected here, and I'm glad that this made the D2C Power Index here for Internet's hottest hats. Number 6, Retro Mossy Oak Bottomland Natural. This is from the Mad Hatter Company. What the Mad Hatter Company specializes in is customizing hats for you. Okay, there's a lot of ways to win on the internet. So you select your base hat of choice, and then you get whatever custom design you want on top of that thing. I think it's a really interesting concept that obviously they are winning with here. It is a blank, but that camo on the bill and then putting whatever embroidered message you want on top of that, they're crushing with this. Your thoughts?
I hate it.
Oh, Shaw! You hate it?
I absolutely hate it. I think it's a terrible looking hat, but kudos to them for making custom hats.
You know, it's unique.
It's super unique.
It's unique. It's different.
Yeah.
It's different. And obviously there's a significant portion of society that likes it. Okay, number 5, Carson. Number 5 here,
Ooh.
interesting one. Okay, this comes to us from Alter Ego Running. Coaster Splash White Navy Camo.
That's cool.
And it's got some kind of TPC or something on top, their logo that's got that camo in it. It's got the palm tree, then the navy underneath. I think what's unique to me about this one, you can add a little splash to this hat, which is, it's a cool high-tech hat, but add a little splash by putting that camo on the inside of the bill and on the front of the hat. Nobody sees it but me, but it makes me feel fancy when I wear that thing. You like this one?
Absolutely love it. Performance hats are absolutely crushing. There's an entire brand around performance hats that's skyrocketed, Merlin, and they're just going crazy. I mean, this is just a prime example. Also leans a little bit into the running club-esque trend right now. So
totally, they've got a very targeted demo, And did you mean Melon or Merlin?
Melon, you're right. Yeah.
Okay, it could be that Melon shows up here later on.
Oh, let's go.
It could be. Okay, let's move to number 4, Carson. Number 4. Nice. When others are zigging, there is room to zag. This is in the other direction from performance hats, okay? But this is the Mallard from Out Yonder, and beautiful embroidery here with the mallard duck on the front. It's got the unique rope to it, and it's got corduroy on there. I don't know if everyone can see, but it's corduroy. And what I love about this is it's totally in a different direction than the Alter Ego hat, but this one's selling like crazy too. Okay, it's a top 5 on the internet right now. And here's what's interesting about this one. This one is up for pre-sale right now. So I don't know what that means mechanics for them. And, maybe they didn't have enough to fund getting this hat out, but it is hot. It is hot, so much so that it's burning up our power index here. I really like this one. Love to have it in my repertoire.
I love it. I love a good corduroy hat too. Kudos to them. This is a great design.
Let's move to number 3 here, Carson. Number 3. World Finest from Hondo Hat Company. Okay, giant eagle on the front. Looks like it was made in 1993. This is another example of going in the opposite direction of performance. And I know that this is a surprise here because I think a lot of us have not heard of Hondo. Now, I have. I am very much aware of them, but they are crushing with this kind of old school nostalgic design that feels like granddaddy handed it down to you from 1992. You like this one?
Yeah, I like that for that simple fact where it feels more old-timey and it's not everything you see on the street. Every 2 seconds you're seeing a guy on that. You probably won't find this guy on the street pretty easily. So I love that.
You might find him at the rodeo though, huh?
I like that.
Okay, let's move to number 2 here, Carson. Of no surprise, here is Melon, the Odyssey Rope Bulls Icon Hydro. Now, I think this guy's going to run you 60, 70, 80 bucks, but they have built their hats to last. It's got hydro tech to it. It's going to repel water. It's going to defend itself against your sweat. And not only did they take number 2, Colin, they also took number 1. They took number 1 too. Carson, move us forward to number 1 here. Hottest selling hat on the internet right now.
Wow.
The A-Game Hydro from Melon. Now, what's interesting to me about this one is very plain, solid color. You don't. What this tells me is that in order to sell men, you don't have to go totally wild with designs and such. Yeah, same for you.
Absolutely. Plus, this is all about performance. This entire brand is about performance. Basically, wearing this when you golf, when you sweat a lot, doing all the things, and they continue to crush it. They've crushed it for the past, 5 or 6 years at this point, and they just came out of nowhere, and it's just constant crushing from them all the time. Great creatives, great products. Kudos to them.
Kudos to them. And who knows what products we will be hitting next. But this is the first of many segments to come where we are breaking down data-backed, AI-backed. What are the hottest moving SKUs and brands on the internet? We look forward to doing this more. Now, there is a very special person who has just joined us on the show. And I'll just say this, Colin, rumor has it rumor has it, I'm talking about Alex Beller.
Oh, yeah.
Rumor has it that deep in his family lineage is Alexander Graham Bell. Okay. Alexander
way.
Graham Bell, chief innovator, big brain, creator of the phone. And Alex has taken that lineage of innovation on so much that they had to add an ER to the last name, Alex Beller, right? And so SMS marketing obviously taking it to the roof. Everybody welcome president and co-founder of Postscript, Alex Beller. Get in here. Yes.
Let's go.
Finally.
That's the kind of energy we need,
We
Alex.
need that. We need that.
Oh, I'm fired up. It is so good to see you both.
Yes.
Let's go.
Man, it is so good to see you.
I'm in a co-working space in Bend, Oregon, and I don't know anyone here. And a bunch of strangers just walked up to the conference room window to look at me because I was screaming. That's really good stuff.
You tell them, get out of
the
here.
Energy. That's the energy we want.
We need.
Yeah, no, I'm with my guys. What's going on?
Bend, Oregon
Colin,
needs
Chris.
that. Man, we're so glad. We're so glad to have you. And this has been a long time coming. I mean, it's part of this show's creation was through a phone call to you, my friend. I mean, that is the truth. That is the case.
Well, I contributed nothing, but I would say I bore witness in the early days, maybe just a little
appreciate
bit,
that.
which that's an honor by itself.
We appreciate that. Well, man, we are so excited to have you on. You know that, man, what we do in e-commerce, which I know and love and enjoy every day, it's inextricably tied to what we're able to do with developing technology. I mean, without tech and its developments, and it's getting better and faster and doing more for us, we couldn't sell and do what we do on the internet. Man, there's been so much happening on the internet lately. Anthropic's, lead for security is leaving to go and write poetry and retire.
Be a poet.
On the beach. He's going to be a poet.
Yes.
There's co-founders of XAI that are leaving, and there's articles that are out now. I was just reading one today that I thought was so poignant. But essentially, his take was, man, in the coming years, 50% of white collar jobs are going away, and maybe SaaS goes away altogether because AI is developing AI itself now. Man, give us your perspective. Is SaaS going away? And is everybody who's working on a laptop not going to have a job in the future?
I am completely on the abundance side.
Let's go, baby. Let's go.
I'm completely, entirely there. I think, look, have you all vibe coded stuff? I'm sure you both have.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay. It is an incredible tool.
Yeah.
It has let me, a essentially non-technical person, build live SaaS apps that are integrated into things and web apps. It's wild. Having said that, the polish, the maintenance, I absolutely expect that these AI tools and agents will have an impact on SaaS, right? I think that they're potentially going to create way more competition. I think that there's also the dynamics of having people be able to build their own tools. I think all that might drive prices down potentially. But if you think about it's just a value exchange when you decide to buy software versus build it, right? At any point. And there's been a shift on that economic dial where it's much easier and cheaper to build things than ever before. But using the example of Salesforce, which gets brought up a lot, right? Postscript uses Salesforce. It's our central CRM. There's all these tools plugging into it, etc. Now we can technically build our own CRM pretty quickly. But when it comes to maintaining it and innovating it and the compliance and security needed, all of those things, I would rather pay someone so that we can focus on our actual business. I think that dynamic just isn't going to shift where look, if someone used to pay Monday.com, $10,000 a month for a really basic project management tool, that's probably at risk, right? But fundamentally, like, we all want to focus on our businesses. So if we can pay, a competitive rate to have someone else care about innovating and focusing and developing and polishing like this and keeping secure this like piece of technology, that's worth the premium on our focus alone. That's my point of view. Where are you guys at?
Well, go ahead, Colin.
I think you brought up a really good point that not a lot of people talk about enough is the security aspect of this.
Yes, exactly.
Is going to create a nightmare scenario for some businesses where there's just going to be back doors for some softwares, and they're like, oh yeah, we have no idea that this is there. And so there's a ton of vulnerability that's basically being built out that people are unaware because they're just vibe coding it. I just think that is an amazing point you brought up. Security is definitely top of mind for me as you're building this out.
Yeah, I think vibe coding is awesome. I think we also see that sometimes it kind of sucks. Let's be honest. I've got several.
It's a grind.
It's a grind. I've got agents running right now, and guess what? They mess up every day. They do. They do. They mess up every day. Do I want to bite off a significant, very important piece of my business and try and make it my own and then be responsible for all of the security risks to that? No, I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that.
No, I mean, I think about our space a lot, right? And I talk to customers about this a lot where they're like, oh, like what's going to happen to like SMS days? Because SMS is really expensive. And I'm like, where would you start with compliance?
Exactly.
Like, where would you start? Like, we have like 25,000 customers who use Postscript. Every one of them would need to become experts in SMS marketing compliance, and like they need to be working on their businesses, not
exactly.
That. And so I don't think that all software and all like service providers are just going to evaporate one day. Though I do think the economics could shift a lot.
Well, give us more insight here, Alex, on I think. Actually, Adam brought it up when we had him on.
I don't trust that guy. I don't trust him. If he said it, I'm completely disagreeing immediately. Yeah.
Well, one of the points that he brought up that I thought was so profound that I'd love more of your mind share on is conversational data being the new oil. And extracting the power of that for your business. Obviously, I think you guys are making those capabilities now for your customers, but just give us more on that, because I see it as an incredibly exciting piece of this new era of e-commerce. And frankly, I still know too little about it.
Yeah. So here's what's going on. All of us are going to ChatGPT, to Claude, to Gemini, and we're talking to them about like what's going on in our lives, and we're asking questions, and we're getting recommendations of products and solutions and ideas and all that stuff. I'm sure you two are both like constantly talking to the bots.
Yeah,
I'm constantly talking to the bots. That is a pull motion, right? These bots, they're getting so much context about who we are based on the back and forth that we have. Right? You see those like things on X where someone will be like, use this prompt in ChatGPT. And it's like, what should I know about myself? Right. And you tend to get back interesting stuff. And they're getting so much context about us, from our tone to what questions we're asking, to what we're working on, to what we're like uploading to give them context in particular. And that can provide a pretty enriching conversational experience. And that can have them give you relevant information back. That's a pull model. But these LLMs are really powerful, and they aren't just inside the walled garden. Other companies can build tools with them as well. And so what we're starting to see in the brand space is that they're building their own agents for the push side of things, right? So what I mean by that is, if you are Jones Road Beauty and you're like running your messaging program, and you have hundreds and hundreds of thousands of subscribers, you run this like big list, and you can talk to them whenever you want through the list. People are being trained, consumers are being trained on how to engage with agents back and forth and how to shop with them back and forth. That's what we're doing on ChatGPT. So why would brands not do that through their own surfaces, right? Yeah. Like, so it's more of like taking this consumer training that's happening and making it so that like that's how people interact directly with brands as well. That's like what's happening. And what we're seeing is there's really crazy examples of brands standing up their own conversational agents and humans, their shoppers, giving them like insane context, being like, the bot will be like, what are you shopping for today? And they'll talk about, foot problems they have. They'll talk about like skin concerns. They'll talk about aging. They'll send pictures in, and they'll get back incredibly relevant product recommendations. And so that's what I think is happening in two big buckets. I think like consumers are being trained right now on how to interact with these agents, and the technology exists for brands to have their own branded owned agents as well. And so like these two things are happening, and that's what we're seeing. We're seeing a ton of adoption of consumer facing brand agents that help people shop and sell, and use, to your point, use like all that zero party data that people are getting trained on sharing to enrich the experience, which is cool, which is like fundamentally, it's like, personal shoppers are like, that's a cool thing. If they're really relevant and it's like enriched, like, I love to shop. I love to buy.
Yeah.
But I don't love to browse. Yeah. Right? Like an agent's kind of perfect for me.
Yeah. They jumping off of this point too is this Black Friday, Cyber Monday, Amazon reported a record number of people interacting with their in-platform chatbot, Rufus, to actually make and lead to purchases. And this was kind of this moment where I was talking to Chris about this. I'm like, this is basically like, the validation moment where people are actually getting trained on, we're going to talk with Gemini, we're going to talk with Rufus, we're going to talk, and then we're going to trust whatever comes out of this thing and then purchase, which is wild.
They're getting really good. They're getting so good.
Alex, standing up my own agent just feels a little scary for me on the brand side. I'd rather just do it with Shopper, or is there any kind of ability that you guys are creating on that side?
So I do think that the actual like technical challenges are interesting. Where here's what I mean. If you're going to have an agent talking to customers for you, you want them to have correct information, right? You want them to be like as good as a human and make relevant recommendations. That sounds really easy. It's actually quite complicated because e-commerce businesses are messy. All businesses are messy and hard to be perfect. Let me give you an example. It is common for a piece of information on the PDP of a product to completely contradict something that's in like the back-end product description. That's like true. A totally common little human oversight.
Yeah.
So which piece of information does an agent go with when they're like answering a question, right? Does it just like straight up hallucinate? Because agents love to just give you a warm, nice answer and hallucinate. I'll give you another example. Some ecom businesses are selling like 15 SKUs. Some have 100,000.
Yeah, exactly.
Loading all of that context into an agent on demand is like a technical feat right now. That is not something that happens out of the box. So here's another one. Brand voice, controlling brand voice, right? Yeah. Every brand has a different voice. The ChatGPT voice is the ChatGPT voice. Brands don't, that isn't their own thing.
Yeah.
But some brands use emojis, some don't. Some are really warm and fresh. Some are very precise. Some are like effusive, and some are really tight. And so controlling across all those surfaces I just mentioned, like accurate product information, minimizing hallucinations, brand control, that stuff. I think when we started off our Shopper initiative, we were like, this is going to be fast and easy. And it's actually been a grind. And now it's in a really, really good place. But solving some of these problems, like an agent can't give incorrect information. It can't make stuff up. Here's a great one. When you tell an agent to maximize sales, which is what brands want, these things are really smart, but also really dumb. So what do? They're like, great, I'll start testing stuff and I'll start maximizing sales.
Oh no.
You know what works really well?
90% off.
90% off. You know what works really well? Saying that there's only one left in stock.
There we go. Yeah, baby.
And these things, they're ghosts. They don't have a conscience. So,
that's amazing.
Like building all the safeguards against that is actually quite an engineering feat. These
things are ghosts. They have no conscience. There's one left. Do you want it?
Yeah. And look, the three of us all know that does drive results.
Oh, yeah, it does.
It doesn't lead to happy, consumers or brands, but it sells.
That'll sell. Big discount, only one left. That will sell. That dog will hunt. Well, Alex, I think that obviously I really believe we are in a new era. And I think all of the things that you just described and those new hurdles to be tackled and overcome, like that you guys have been grinding on in Shopper. It makes me think of that quote that I can't pull right now. It's like, we did this not because it was easy, but because we thought it would be easy, or something like that.
Sure.
There's so many things where I'm like, oh yeah, AI will handle it. And actually, it's a grind.
Yeah.
But this is a new era. I think Sean Frank called it Ecom 4.0. What are you excited about in this era? And do you see more entrenched winners who are already they're already there? Do they have the advantage, or does the one-man brand, the guy who is a maestro of robots and agents, does the underdog have the advantage in this new era?
Yeah. So, great question. I am a huge believer in the underdog here.
Me too.
And I'll say why. I really believe in like the efficiency of the e-commerce market, right? Like, you can charge a certain amount for products given like your brand profile and what the like competitive set of products are. And if there is someone out there who is like agent supercharged and is running their business, 250% more efficiently than an established competitor, then like they will have more budget to deploy into acquisition. They will have like more budget to absorb like, slightly lower margins. Like that will make their business, those things, like we know those are real levers that will make their business like grow more than potentially, an established player that doesn't utilize those same efficiencies. Having said that, I also believe in like the long-term power of brand, and like you just can't stand up a new brand overnight. So I think that like we're going to go through a transition period here. And, I'm already seeing in the SaaS side, people build real businesses with like one person. And that's like really, really exciting and really cool. But we're going to go through a transition. And I think that like, I don't believe that, the e-commerce giants are suddenly going to disappear. I think that if people continue to go through and pursue, reasonable transformation, then like they can win in the next era. But I'm really betting on the upstarts. I think that like we're going to see really efficient brands pop up that probably didn't exist before and have probably like different go-to-market motions and different like product development motions than existed before too, right? That's just like, that's the beauty of this like super dynamic economy is that like huge new opportunity. A bunch of people are going to like figure out new playbooks, and like they're going to be the first ones there, and they're going to get the arbitrage.
Colin, does that make you want to start a brand again? Does that
absolutely not? It is so not at all. It's so hard.
I said didn't work on you at all.
It worked on me. It worked on me, Alex. It worked on me.
Selling physical products is one of the hardest things in the whole world, and then shipping physical products definitely sucks.
For sure.
Alex, question for you coming up. I always talk about with Chris basically some stuff that I'm super fired up about with new AI tools and stuff like that.
Yeah.
One of the ones I'm super fired up with is Super Whisper. I've basically like used it in my workflow, and it's like revolutionized what I've been doing. Is there anything you're playing around with right now where you're like, this has completely kind of transformed my workflow, where, I don't know, 4 or 5 months ago, I wasn't even using this thing, and now I use it every day?
Yeah. So I'm on a similar tip as you in that I'm using a different product. I'm using like Whisper Flow, but I think they're the same thing, like dictation stuff. So for me at Postscript, we have a big written culture where like we do memos. And I know that sounds really corporate, but like everyone works remotely. Like when you're trying to align a group or like really think through a problem, like sitting down, writing it out can help.
Yeah.
And I like to do that, but I'm way faster at dictating. And so I have what I built out. I've uploaded like tons of like pieces of content that I've written and developed a voice card, which is like a one-page thing that's essentially like, this is my voice. This is like how an LLM should write in my voice. And I'll give that to an agent along with like a big dictation I made.
Yeah.
And I'm like, hey, I'm trying to make a memo around this point. Like, can you clean this up and, deliver it in this format, in this voice? And that probably takes 1/10 the time and gets me like 85% of the way there.
Wow.
Right. And like, that isn't rocket science. That's not like a magic new tool, but it's a workflow that is like changed how I work pretty meaningfully, which is super cool. And that is one that at the moment I'm extremely like leaned into and ramped up on.
I'm trying to get Chris on the train.
I'm yet.
I'm trying to get him on the train.
I'm yet to be there, and I think the missing step is what you just said about your voice card, because whenever I dictate, it comes out, and I'm using WhisperFlow too, but it comes out. It comes out higgledy-piggledy, and it's just it's just like a blob of text. I'm like, come on.
And you have a brand, and we can't compromise on that, right? We can't be having content from you that's like the ChatGPT voice.
No,
the market would reject it. I would be upset, right? Paul would be sad, So no, I get that. I hear that. But I think you could like, upload some stuff, figure out a little voice card, so it at least gives back to you like, something that like with a quick rewrite is good for you.
That's what I need to get. That's what I need to get. I know that you are a busy man, Alex, and we so appreciate you joining the show, but I cannot let you get out of here without touching on Texas SB 140. This was a giant, huge milestone and happening inside of our space that I just felt, number one, was too little talked about leading up to. I could not find anybody talking about it on X. There was no help to be had from any of the partners. And for people who don't know, Texas SB 140, essentially it was restricting e-commerce or hardly anybody from sending a text to customers who had already opted in, because we were being categorized as scammers, people who are, cold outreach, etc. And you guys did the opposite of everyone else. You said, no, don't go hand Texas $10,000. We are going to fight this, and we're going to take this to court and talk to the legislators who are in charge and make them see how they have gotten this wrong. And it worked. It worked. You guys did it. You did the whole of Ecom a solid.
It worked.
And it just has not been talked about enough in my mind.
Yeah.
Totally agree.
I mean, thanks for bringing it up, guys. It's something that we're super proud of. Because we want to be the best at messaging.
Yes.
We've invested for a long time in this compliance stuff, and we have, I think we have the best legal team in business, which is not something you like often hear is people raving about their legal department. We have this incredible legal team, led by Elliot and David. And the funny backstory here is David Carter, who's Postscript's head of regulatory and litigation. He was our like SMS lawyer when we were like three dudes in the garage.
All right.
We saw some YouTube videos from him, and we're like, oh, he's great. We don't know what we're doing at all. And we just like reached out to him, and he like got on the phone with us on a Sunday and like talked us through it. So we've known him for years. He eventually joined Postscript. And when he did, he came to us and he was like, hey, I think that there's an opportunity to actually go out and change some of these like loopholes that exist around the country that create room for ambulance chasing. Because we know that brands deal with so much ambulance chasing. They deal with the ADA stuff. They deal with all these things. And so David is such an expert, and he was like, I have a vision here. And he helped us incubate and create this thing called the EIA, the Ecom Innovation Alliance, which is an independent trade group. A whole bunch of people are members of it. And what that trade group does, and it's kind of incubated by Postscript and we're involved, but it is an independent thing, is what it's done is it's gone out and it's testified and it's filed lawsuits and it's consulted on laws all across the country. It's like submitted notes to FCC rulemaking. It's, testified in a bunch of different states. It's partnered with lawmakers or lobbyists to get a bunch of local laws like reversed and changed or blocked in a bunch of places. And the reason for this is because what happens is lawmakers, they hear complaints from their voters about spam texts.
Yeah.
And they're like, we got to do something. but none of them have any idea how like the ecosystem or how messaging works. So they pass terrible laws. They pass horrible laws that impact like legit businesses sending opt-in messages, which is the ecom space.
Yeah.
And so that's what happened in Texas. And they passed this law. And it was so onerous. It was like you need to file a $10,000 bond.
Yeah.
You can't send it. All this crazy stuff for people that have opted in, because it didn't really differentiate between people who've opted in and didn't, and like true cold telemarketing. So we went down there. We filed a lawsuit against the state of Texas, and the attorney general's office, when they like sat down with us and they heard everything that was going on, and they had us walk them through it. They were like, "We're gonna settle. We're like not gonna like fight out to defend this, because like we don't think the intention of the law was to hurt legit businesses." And so everyone else in the space was like fear mongering. People had stopped sending it to Texas. It was a huge mistake. And a lot of people had gone and registered with the $10,000 bond, which we were like, no, don't do that. And so it was a huge win. I'm like very proud of the team. I'm happy for the industry. And the truth is like, that was a high profile one. That's one of many. We're like active in a bunch of different states right now on the federal level, just because plaintiffs' attorneys, the people who file these ambulance chasing lawsuits, they're out there on the other side of this. They're lobbying for these sorts of laws to get passed so they can sue brands. And so we're trying to build a big coalition. I mean, everyone should join the Ecom Innovation Alliance. It's doing good work, but we're going to keep fighting the good fight too.
Wow, man, we really appreciate you doing that, and the EIA doing that on all of our behalfs. And I will just say this: I have put myself forth publicly, regardless of what administration is in charge. I have put myself forth to be commissioner of e-commerce. I have. Yeah, I've said it, and
he has my vote.
If that ever, the Ecoms are
exactly Ecoms are, and if that ever comes to fruition, we're going to be riding this thing together, brother. We're going to be riding it together.
I can't wait. You know me. If that position ever gets established, I'm going to want to be in the shadows. Hey, I'm going to be doing your dirty work. I'm going to be just absolutely navigating the back hallways, like cracking skulls.
Okay. Nice. All right. But when we need to take a big fancy trip, I expect you on the PJ. That's what I'm saying.
Of course.
Okay.
Wouldn't miss it.
Go. Okay, great. Well, Alex, we really appreciate you joining, and we can't wait to have you back. And man, so love and appreciate Postscript being part of the show. Thank you, brother.
Of course. You guys are killing it. I'm super proud of you both. Can't wait to be.
Wow.
Baller. Bring in the energy that you want. You know what I mean,
man?
Amazing
energy. Don't you want to work for that guy? I can just imagine. Like, there's a lot of people in the tech space, bro. You pick up that energy, you listen to Alex Beller, you're like, man, I want to be a part of Postscript. Yeah. And low key, I don't know that everybody in our space really knows how incredible of a biz they are. They are crushing. I know, and I love Alex's heart for the underdogs of ecom, and they serve the underdogs of ecom, but they serve the big dogs of ecom too. And I'm not sure that the industry really knows how much they actually crush. But we really appreciate them being a part of the show and love Alex coming on here. In lieu of that, I think we should talk about one of our partners of the show here. And I'm talking about Postscript. That's who I'm talking about. Postscript, the reason that Alex and team have crushed like they do is because they zero in and only do SMS. When you focus, when you obsess, you get outsized results. When people make the switch to Postscript from whatever SMS partner they may be playing their game with, Postscript, they see on average a 22% plus jump in revenue. Now, I didn't get that. I got much more when I made the switch. It was one of the first things I did at the last brand that I got hired at. We made the switch to Postscript. We went from making very little money to being a top 1% account on their entire platform inside of a year. And I'll give you the big secret. I just did what they told me to do. They got the data. They know what works when, and I would listen to their advisement, and then I would do that. Okay, big secret. If you go to postscript.io/SMS-benchmarks, you're going to get a benchmark report, my vertical, my revenue band, what's normal for me to be doing on SMS, and how can I get more out of that. If you're looking for more dollars in 2026, Postscript wants to make SMS your #1 revenue generator. Go to Postscript, test drive, work with them, and make some more money at the end of the day. Many thanks to our partners at Postscript. Interesting stories that have come up here, Colin. And I know that you are fired up about this one. Shopify is crushing. I mean, it's not a surprise, okay? But the official earnings have been released for Q4. This is a tweet from Harley Finkelstein, president of Shopify. He says the headlines: we now power more than 14% of the US e-commerce market. GMV is up 29% to 378 billion. Revenue is up 30% to 11.5 billion. Free cash flow exceeded 2 billion. Q4 was our first quarter above 3 billion in revenue. I'll also say this, I think there's like 60,000 plus stores that are joining Shopify, new stores weekly per week. Okay. Yeah. Absolutely crushing. They are really becoming the de facto choice of builders in this era of e-commerce. They are, much like Postscript, known for arming the rebels, helping the underdogs succeed, but actually now they span the whole market. And actually they are the provider of service for many, many of the big dogs. I was actually a little surprised that it's only 14% of the US e-commerce market. I thought it would actually be more, and I think it will be here very soon. Give me your takeaways from seeing this displayed with data today.
Yeah, there's two big takeaways from this metric, and one is revenue is up 30% on the year. That's insane.
Bananas.
That's bananas for anyone who wants to know. 11.5 billion with a B is huge. Another piece of this that I think is really good to show the health of the business is free cash flow exceeding $2 billion. That's really important. It shows that they're not bleeding. It shows that they have some cash to really mess around with and do some really cool projects like we saw with the winter editions, and just they can do some really cool activations from here moving forward. There's two things that I really want to point out about them.
Yeah.
One is Harley and Toby are still in the Twitter ad comments every day.
Yes.
So if you tweet to them and it's a big problem and it's an issue, and you kind of say, hey, you know, this is the issue going on with my Shopify account, blah, 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 you do it, throw a screenshot, they'll probably respond to you. What CEO or president of a company do you know that is at this level right here that is willing to do that?
Exactly.
I mean, I think there's these types of things where they are still operating very startup friendly and they're very builder mindset. And I think this is what just keeps allowing them to win year over year, month over month. They're just going to keep going up. I think this 14% probably turns into 30% maybe next year. I mean, it's just
wild.
Stopping them. What do you think?
Well, I would say that every other competitor in our space, they need to take a page out of Shopify's book. They need to take a page out of their book. And I will say specifically in regard to Toby and Harley being so active online, involved, responding to comments, making posts, etc. It's a personal window entrance into the company. Big C, Wix, Squarespace, Magento, all of these guys need to follow suit. They need to follow suit. People who are in the C-suite, at the founder level, people who are at the top of the organization, they need to get online and active and involved. Why? Because people like following people. And the more that Harley and Toby talk, and they don't just talk about e-commerce, but that is their focus, of course. But the more I see them on video, guess what? The more I like Shopify. I do, because I get to know them and their personalities, and it makes me associate with Shopify personally. And so when I am working with a brand who's not on Shopify, or when I'm thinking about starting a new brand, which I am, and I do have product right over here, where am I going to go? I'm going to go with the people that I already know and like, that I have heard from. I know the why behind of what they do. It's powerful. And I know it's cumbersome. I know it's tiresome. I know it doesn't necessarily drive instant revenue to the bottom line, but I think all of these competitors need to take note. Is that fair? I mean, maybe nobody can do it to Shopify's level, but I think they need to take note and start playing the same game.
Yeah, I mean, super fair on that point. And I think also from the other side of the fence, the tactical standpoint, you can get up and running with the store in 24 hours and you're live. And so you have the human aspect, but then also the product delivers.
It does.
And there's a ton of integrations. There couldn't be more integrations for Shopify. You could want to do anything. You could do it in Shopify. I can promise you that.
I mean, we could talk at length about Sidekick. We could talk about SimGem and all of the new capabilities that they have rolled out. I think they do a great job about articulating those, educating about them. And all these competitors, they need to take note as well. I know Squarespace ran an ad during the Super Bowl. Hey, I get it. Maybe you loved it. Maybe you hated it. I think most people really liked it. But the point is being reachable, product delivering, being able to spin up things quick, integrations, product development, actually talking about it in a way that is winsome and cool. I think Shopify is crushing. And it looks like they're only going to continue to crush.
Sounds like it.
Well, before we move on to our next story, I think that we should talk about AMP. I think we need to go back here and talk about AMP. The wonderful thing about AMP, we just had the CEO, Patrick Barnes, here on the show. Wonderful thing about AMP is they allow you to have all of your crucial data that your business needs to survive, and that you and your boss and your team are constantly wondering, what is my LTV? How's our CAC doing today? Are we trending toward forecast in a good pace? Do we need to do more? Where are our problems? What cohorts are stinking? What products need to be cut? The great thing is that AMP consolidates all of that information for you in one easy to view place and space. If you don't know and you can't explain how your business is doing in a sentence or two or in a single dashboard, I'm not sure you know how your business is doing. And the great thing about AMP and their tool Lifetimely is that it allows you to scale with confidence in 2026 because you know what your numbers are. If you don't know what your numbers are, you can't scale with confidence. The good news is if you start using Lifetimely, actually you get all of their other apps gratis. Patrick announced on the show that they have incredible developments. You should go back and listen to that episode coming out here in, I think, 26 days now, where the AI is going to be prompting you, not just you prompting the AI. Go to useamp.com, test drive that platform today. You'll be happy that you did. Make it easy on yourself. Scale in 2026. Many thanks for them being a part of the show. Now, next interesting story that has come to us here. I think everyone will give a yes. And of course, because they've seen the U.S. Olympic athletes dress, okay? Yeah. Ralph Lauren, or Ralph Lauren, depending on how you like to pronounce it. Ralph Lauren is Lyst's #4 hottest brand in fashion right now. Okay. You go down to hottest brands, what you'll see at #4 is Ralph Lauren. Click that little down drop and it will give you the reasons why it is #4. And a big piece of this is literally the outfits that they created for the United States Olympic team. Go to the next one, Carson. Show us these outfits. Anybody that's seen these, you're like, yeah, of course. Baller. Okay. They look so cool.
I looked them up. I looked to purchase them.
Yeah, just a few dollars, right?
They're a couple dollars. They're a couple serious dollars.
A couple thou. A couple thou. If I want to get a sweater.
I think that jacket's $5,000.
Wow. Well, good on them. I hope the U.S. team gets to keep theirs because that thing is nice. It's icy.
Sick. Yeah.
And I think this speaks to timelessness in contrast with continually following trends. Oh. The fact is, how much is it there, Carson? How much is it, Colin?
That's a different one. That's a $2,000 one.
It's a $2,000 jacket.
Ones with toggles. Yeah.
Yeah,
that's the other one.
This line, this collection is obviously gorgeous. We all want to wear it. We all want to be in Milan wearing the Ralph Lauren collection and celebrating the United States success.
Yeah.
I think it's interesting. They are a 100-year-old heritage brand, I believe, which is kind of crazy. I didn't even think Ralph Lauren was that old. Or maybe the guy, whoever he's supposed to be, who is Ralph Lauren, who represents Ralph Lauren. I didn't even know that they were that old, but apparently it's a 100-year-old company, heritage company. And now leaning into what I would call timeless styling, they are number 4 on Lyst's top 10, top 20, top 25 brands in fashion. Obviously, it's gorgeous, but it makes me wonder for the rest of us, can we lean into this kind of vintage timelessness type style and win in 2026, zigging while others are zagging, etc.? You think there's something there to that?
It's completely wrong, but
no,
I like your take. The reason why this is such a home run is because the Winter Olympics only comes every 4 years.
True.
They have an opportunity to do an incredible collaboration. I'm bullish on collaborations and partnerships.
I know. That's true.
And when you hit a collaboration and a partnership out of the park for a once in a generational type of opportunity here, and you have the ability to outfit the people that are winning gold medals for the United States, all of that coverage, you get all of the cool video highlights. You're a pretty cool cat. You know what I mean?
I hear you. But you go ahead.
I don't think it's the heritage piece of it.
You don't think so?
I think it is the execution of their partnership with the actual Olympics itself and how well they aligned with everything, and makes everybody look amazing.
Well, I'm gonna give you some data here that'll just push back on this. Now, I think you make good points. The collab, obviously, that's a big piece of this. But let me just also throw this in there: cable knit quarter zip searches now on the internet up 132%.
Yeah, you're not wrong. That's correct.
Quarter zip, the quarter zip is hot, baby. Cable knit quarter zip searches up 132%. I believe they are up 12% revenue growth. They've got 2.1 million new D2C customers apparently. And the real thing that this all fits into style-wise is this kind of old money aesthetic that has a long tail. Yeah, see, you're wearing it right there. Exactly.
Didn't even know.
That old money aesthetic, it's resonating. It's resonating right now. It's not a thing of yesteryear in 24 and 25. It's still here in 26. And it's kind of like anti-fast fashion in a way, especially if I'm going to buy a $5,000 coat. I mean, this is like anti-fast fashion as much as possible.
Yeah. I think, jumping back to a previous episode, we saw that Eddie Bauer just went bankrupt.
They did.
If Ralph Lauren wanted to pull off a nice OG move with all this free cash flow they're getting, they should scoop up Eddie Bauer and then use all of the brand and all of the ethos that they're basically using right now, inject that into the brand. They would have another powerhouse on their hands.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah.
And now that we're talking about this, I forgot I did not clip our other episode and tell KJP that he should buy Eddie Bauer.
He also should. There's a couple folks.
KJP, Kyle James Patrick, he needs to buy Eddie Bauer and Land's End, but at least Eddie Bauer.
That's true too. Yeah.
Now that it's going into chapter 11.
Mm-hmm.
KJP, think about it. Ralph Lauren, think about it. Okay, before we get to our last two, couple quick hitters here at the end. Actually, let's go one more. Let's go to Loyal. I'm talking about Loyal here, Carson. Loyal raises $100 million. No, I'm wrong. Loyal raised $250 million to help dogs live longer. We're all the time trying to optimize CAC and other important metrics. They're trying to optimize the life of dogs and dog lifespan. And I think they are definitely hitting the moment right, because as people have fewer children, our furry friends are really becoming more family members. And that just is the case inside of the American home right now. I think that you love this because of Sully. Now, I have a dog too, Lady. I love Lady. But I think you're even more psyched about this because you want Sully to live forever. Is that true?
Oh, he's going to live forever. That's the side point. But this is a lot about consumer sentiment right now, where they are valuing their pets. And a lot of this can also be sprinkled back into D2C, where we are seeing a ton of pet brands that are just operating with crazy margins. They're doing crazy numbers. We saw a pet brand earlier, I think a couple weeks ago, where it was basically the AG1 of pet brands. And someone was like, how can you tell if it works or not? It's a great question.
Don't know.
No idea. But here's the thing. Owners are willing to shell out that cash. And they're willing to shell out a lot of cash. And so you see this demographic, same thing with Loyal, where the LTV of a pet is going to be a lot of cash that you're willing to invest into that animal. And so there's a good land grab opportunity here.
Well, it's interesting because there are like two things happening right now with pets. There are pet owners who are really feeling the crunch of increasing veterinarian care.
Yeah.
The price of veterinarian care, much of the veterinary practices inside of our country now, I think about 50% have been scooped up by private equity.
Yeah.
And all of their margins are made on upsells.
Yeah.
So you get people in for one thing and then you upsell 3 or 4 other things. You walk out of the door, you spent $500 and you didn't come there for that, but you do every time. And I think what ends up happening, actually, there's data behind this, is what people end up doing is they stop taking their dog to the vet. They stop because they know if I go there, I'm going to somehow walk out with a $500 bill. Now, on this other side, you still love your dog. You love your dog. You treat your dog like family. And what can you do? Well, you can get them good food. You can get them some kind of probiotic that's supposed to help them. If they like it and they will eat it and they seem to enjoy it, okay, well, how many times is your dog going to make a different choice of food? Never. Okay. If you can actually get owner to try it and dog likes it, you've locked them in for the next 5 or 10 years. And so I think it's very competitive on that side of acquiring the customer. But if it's real food for dog, if it's the right kind of supplement that's supposedly supposed to help them so that you don't have to take them to the vet and have a $500 bill, then there's a lot of cash to be made on that other side. It's an emotional play to pull on those heartstrings.
Yeah. Yeah. You nailed it. That's exactly it.
Be interesting to see what happens. You know, there are, I mean, this is an interesting space. Dutch is essentially a virtual pet care veterinarian replacement. I think it's all of like $8 or $11 a month. So there's a lot of innovation in this space. And I think as people have fewer children, there's only going to be more and more endearment for animals. And that's a wonderful thing. Endearment for the animals is a wonderful thing. I did kind of grow up where the dog lives outside, you know. that was kind of the time and place that I came from. But hey, I get it. We love the dogs, man's best friend. Before we move on to our last story, let's talk about Seguno. You know, Seguno is the only marketing suite that lives entirely inside of Shopify. Why is that important, Chris? It's important because it means your email, your reviews, your pop-up, your banners, all of that juicy data, you don't have to rely on some kind of duct-taped integration for your data and hope that it's all accurate. Your Shopify data is the data. This is email 3.0, okay? And this is a big piece why they won 2024's Shopify Build App of the Year, okay? One-click automations, help from actual humans that you can get a hold of. They're not going to send you to other partners. They are there and available. And if you don't have a full-time email marketer on your team right now, Seguno was built for you. Lean teams with big dreams, big aspirations. We're going to have CEO Chris on the show soon. What you should do is go to seguno.com. They're going to give you a free trial. You can test drive that baby. If you tell them that Colin and I sent you, just write into their customer support, their chat, say, hey, Chris and Colin sent me here. That's where I heard about you. They'll extend that free trial to 30 days. Make it easy on yourself. Make a little more money. 2026, use Seguno. Many thanks to them for being part of the show. Lastly, last story of the day. This is an interesting one. Hermes Hermes, they have released a $264,000 leather pool table in emerald green. Woo! Am I saying that right? Is it Hermes? Is that how you say it?
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Hermes. You know,
Hermes.
maybe you're used to dropping 10, 20, 80K on a bag, but now you just increase that price a little bit more, and you can have yourself a luxury pool table for the villa that is beachside in Italy or wherever your place of choice is. It's obviously a beautiful thing. What do you think about this when you saw it?
It's sweet. It's a great statement piece. I mean, if you got all the money in the world, this is still a sweet statement piece to grab. And you know, I grew up inside of a bar when I was growing up, and I knew how to play pool and all of these things. So I love playing pool. I love hustling with pool. This is a pretty wild table that you could come over and hustle your friends on.
Yeah.
You better get really good really quick to make this worth it.
You better get good quick. You probably don't want to set down your drink, okay, on the side of it. If you bought this, I'm not sure how much you'd actually play on it, is my wonder. I don't know.
Gosh.
Maybe the buyers of this thing, they're just going to use it and roll with it. It's definitely a statement piece, a lifestyle brand extension, one might say. Got to be ultra high net worth, you know, one would imagine. I don't think anybody's going to go borrow from a bank to buy this thing, but it's scarce, it's craftsman, and it is a thing of beauty. It's beautiful. Are you going to be getting one for the house?
I don't think so. I'd be afraid to put the drink down on it and then not have the coaster and then get scolded.
It's fair enough. I think my dog lady might want to chew on it, and that's just not a good fit. Not a good fit for just having dropped $250,000 on a pool table. So
it's fair.
I shall probably withhold for now. Many thanks to Seguno, Postscript, and AMP for making this show happen. Thank you for joining us today, and also, man, thanks to Alex Beller at Ring My Beller for being a part of the show. We're going to have another exciting guest for you tomorrow. Ray, right? From Scene. He's joining us tomorrow. We're going to be talking about custom suits and growing brands to the moon. Many thanks for joining us. We will see you on the other side.